of the best teams from their respective conferences. It's the Missouri St. Louis Tritons and the Ferris State Bulldogs, and it's officially the semifinals now here of the Midwest Regional right here at Nickerson Hall. That's Drew Ranke, Graham Shear on hand. We'll check in down on the sidelines with Leticia Vaselli in just a moment, but first, Drew, two teams that made it to their respective conference championships. You know, UMSL lost a week ago today in the championship to McKendree. We saw them defeat the Greyhounds last night. We'll see them later on this evening. And Ferris State lost in the championship of the GLIAC championship to Northern Michigan. How do you expect this matchup to play out today as these two teams are trying to put together a run here late into March?
Yeah, both teams coming off of losses in their conference tournaments, but the Tritons here today really rely on those big players in Wabarocha, Cisse, and Sandquist. We saw it firsthand there in the GLVC tournament with Sandquist going 8 from 11 from 3, and when he gets hot, the Tritons are one of the most deadly teams in this tournament. Now, on the other side for the Bulldogs, they really are, I wouldn't call them underdogs here, but they are the underdogs. 6th seed coming into this one this afternoon, and they have this guy coming off the bench of late in Solomon Oregbu, who dropped 30 the other night in 27 minutes, so he's someone to watch out if you are a Tritons fan.
Check out on the sidelines with Leticia Vaselli.
It's been a very exciting couple days here in the Circle City with the Midwest Regional happening right here at Nickerson Hall at UINDY. And so today we're going to take on the UMSL, and they are going to do such a good job. They have really good players like Fuller and Wabarocha, so I'm looking forward to a really exciting match today.
All right, Leticia, thank you so much for that report. Drew, as we, get ready for play here. We have a minute until starting lineups will be announced. Let's kind of headline what this game is going to entail. So Missouri St. Louis, they finished the year 21-10 in the conference. After that win yesterday, they moved to 22-10 on the season, whereas Ferris State had an unbelievable year. 23-8, now 24-8 after the win yesterday against Ashland. We'll start with Ferris State as, they pick up a 1-point win against Ashland. It was a dogfight. Pardon the pun, but the Bulldogs, they came away with a tough, hard-fought win.
Yeah, and they did 71-70 there. Ferris State comes out on top. I mean, they really had one of those complete games. Shot 40% from the field, but they are struggling on their three-point shooting a lot. I mean, throughout the season, they've struggled shooting 39%. Last time out, they shot 28. So they really need to rely on that and try and improve on that to come away with a victory here and move on to the next round.
Now Missouri St. Louis is the number 2 seed in this Midwest Regional, and, quite the opposite. Their game yesterday against Wisconsin Parkside against the Rangers, they ran them off the court, Drew. 25-point win, 85-60, and in that second half, with 15 minutes left, they were tied at 48, but they turned it around there. They went on a 16-0 run, and they followed it up by, a 25-5 run over the course of 7 minutes or 8 minutes or so down the stretch of that game. They scored the last 10 points as well of that game, and they came away with a big win.
Yeah, and they really put together a complete game, scoring 50 points in that second half. They almost outscored Wisconsin Parkside by itself in the second half there. So, like I said earlier, if they get hot and they're ready to go, then they're one of the most deadly teams in this tournament.
We're going to check out the starting lineups here for both sides. Again, Missouri St. Louis is the 2 seed here in the Midwest Regional. Ferris State is the 6 seed. They defeated Ashland, the 3 seed, yesterday. We're starting with Ferris State, and there is number 23, Michael Bingham. He's a 6'7 sophomore from Grand Rapids, Michigan. First starter for the Tritons, number 23, Drew Cisse. He's going to man the middle. He's a true freshman from San Diego, California, and he is 6 feet 10 inches tall. He's going to be a big part of what they do today. Ben Davidson, a 6'3 redshirt junior. He scored 6 points yesterday against Ashland, but had a great game. And now for the Tritons, one of their best players, Victor Wabarocha, number 32. He'll wear the goggles and he'll do a little dance. A 6'3 graduate student. He played for Drury, spent some time there with the Panthers, and now playing with Coach Sunvold and the Tritons. There is Dolapo Oliinka, 6'5 redshirt junior from Nigeria. Also grew up in Chicago. All GLIAC tournament team. And there's Bowen Sandquist, the best shooter on the Tritons, 50% from downtown. He's a graduate student, played 4 years at Midland University. And that is Reese Hazelton. He's a freshman, 6'6", 220 pound from Michigan. He's a freshman, and he had a great game yesterday as well. 10 points and 13 rebounds, a big double-double. There is the best player for the Tritons, Isaiah Fuller, 15 points a game, but he scored 26 last night, Drew, and he is the GLVC Defensive Player of the Year. And that is Matt Enright, a 6-foot freshman guard from St. Louis, Missouri. He scored 3 points yesterday. And lastly, for Ferris State, we have Jimmy Scholler, a 6'3 sophomore from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Should be a fun matchup today, Drew.
I think it will be. I mean, both these teams are coming into this game pretty hot, and both teams are kind of shooting lights out. So it'll be very interesting to see how both teams adjust on the defensive end.
One guy we didn't talk about, though, Solomon Oregbu. He scored 30 a game, like you mentioned, Drew, but he came off the bench, only played 27 minutes, and I'm surprised he's not really starting here today, but still on a little bit of a minutes restriction after suffering an injury a few games ago. Didn't play in the GLIAC championship game, and now he will come off the bench again tonight. Getting ready for play, the yellow jerseys of UMSL, red jerseys, the Bulldogs for Ferris State. It'll be Drew Cisse to jump it up in the middle with Michael Bingham. Bingham giving up about 3 inches on Cisse. And Cisse has won the tip. Tritons will control with Madden Wright. Tritons trying to get back to the Midwest Regional Championship game for the 2nd year in a row. They lost to Hillsdale a year ago. They lost by 10 points in that Midwest Regional Championship. Here's Fuller, first shot, left it strong.
Good first shot there by Fuller, trying to get the Tritons started there. Just nothing going there on that end.
Really came alive in the second half, did Fuller yesterday. And here he is with the steal. Poking it away, nice defense by Sandquist as well. Here is Sandquist, thought about the 3. Surprised there wasn't a travel, might have got away with one. Now it's in right. Here's Wabarocha. Cisse, he's the big guy, trying to back down a Bulldog. Kick out and right. Not a lot of ball movement, and Wright takes it himself. Nice strip, but got it back. Just 6 on the shot clock. Wabarocha will drive. He's at the elbow, tough shot, he got it.
That was one shot there by Victor Wabarocha. A little stop and pop there, get the Tritons on the board first.
Now Scholler the other way. Here is Scholler on the right. Olinka, now Scholler. Olinka again. He had a pretty good game yesterday as well. Here he is, he got fouled, and he'll go to the line. He draws the foul. That's one thing I didn't see a lot of yesterday. That's Wabarocha picking it up. Not a lot of fouling by either side, UMSL and Wisconsin Parkside in that game. Neither team got in the bonus the entire length of the game. The fouling was pretty stagnant. 69% for Olinka on the year from the stripe. He scored 11 points yesterday. Also had 7 rebounds, a couple assists, and a couple blocks. Great game. Here's his first free throw, and he got it to fall. So 2-1, early lead. UMSL is on top. Don't mind the scoreboard. UMSL is up by a point. The Bulldogs are trying to get their first tie here. A minute and a half gone.
Yeah, you mentioned the fouling situation yesterday. I mean, that's crucial in these tournament games. I mean, fouls, especially if you're bigger players and better players, getting those that foul situation that could really detrimental for the team later on.
Now Fuller. He's out at the flying eye. Defensive Player of the Year for Coach Sunvold. Here he is. Take, and he got fouled. Wonderful take, though. Not a lot of ball movement again, but Fuller found some space, and he got to the cup. One thing he does really well.
I was about to say, yeah, he was driving really well there, and especially yesterday. I'd like to see him try and kick it out and find another person, try and get that extra pass and see if he can get an open shot from there instead of just trying to drive and pick up a foul.
You mentioned him with the pass. He's a very unselfish player is, Isaiah Fuller. Yesterday, 26 points, but he was doing it all around. 3 rebounds, 3 assists, a block, and a steal also on the defensive end. This is the 4th year in a row that the GLVC Defensive Player of the Year resides in a Triton uniform with Coach Sunvold. He really breeds Defensive Players of the Year. The last 3 has been Steve Webb, but this 2022-2023 campaign, Isaiah Fuller gets the postseason award. Here is Scholler up top. Now Davidson, follow away, tough shot, left it short. No field goals going yet for Ferris State. They're 0-3 to start. Now Wabarocha blocked inside. Oliinka goes upstairs for it, but it's knocked out of bounds off of the Bulldogs. Tritons will have it.
Great defensive stand there by the Tritons on their end. I mean, they really had everything spread out. No open passes could have been made.
And right, kick into the corner. Wabarocha, open look, and he left it in and out. That one halfway down. Nice rebound, though. 50-50 ball. Who's going to get it? It'll be a jump ball. I think it will. Jump ball says that. Near sideline official, and the arrow will favor Ferris State. So the Bulldogs, with the hustle play, it'll go their way. Just 2.5 minutes gone. 17:33 to go here in the first half. If you're just joining us, Drew Ranke, Graham Shear, Leticia Vaselli down on the sidelines. Right now, this is the semifinal action. First semifinal here at the NCAA tournament, this Midwest Regional, hosted here in Indianapolis. Nickerson Hall, home of the Indianapolis Greyhounds. They lost last evening to the McKendree Bearcats. They've gotten hot, has the Bearcats. They'll play tonight against Northern Michigan. And here's a turnover. Already a couple turnovers for Ferris State. Sandquist will let one fly. That's good. 4-point play coming. Sandquist, we've seen that a lot, Drew.
Yeah, that man is lethal from deep. I mean, we saw it firsthand, like I said earlier, in the GLVC tournament, as he just kind of got one about 6 feet behind the line.
Check out that look.
Takes the contact.
Kidding me? Steps across half court, and he's a threat. Call him Steph Curry. Drains the free throw as well. Does that very well, and he's got a quick 4 points for Sandquist. He had 9 yesterday. He hit 3 of his 4 3-point attempts. Finished the game with 9. Now on the other end, here is Scholler. Pardon, that's Hazelton. Now it's Scholler. Scholler will drive on and right. Kick out Hazelton. Open look. There's a 3, and it's too strong. Nice offensive board. Wow. And that's going to be a foul on the rebound. Should go on Sandquist. Skying high for it was Bingham. Wow. Could have been a dangerous play there. Awkward fall, but Bingham gets up, no problem. He's all right.
I don't think that was intentional by any means. I think he just kind of got caught underneath of him there, and unfortunate.
Yep. To inbound, Scholler. Got it to Davidson. Got bumped, no call. Refs letting him play here early. Here is Scholler. Cross court to Hazelton. Now it's Oliinka backing down Fuller. Got inside, double teamed. Got it to Bingham underneath. Shots blocked. Hazelton had it swatted away. I think Cisse got his big paw on it. Here comes Madden Wright. Now it's Wabarocha. Driving cut. It's Fuller. Floater is good. And a quick timeout. Andy Brakima wants a timeout for the Bulldogs.
As Wabarocha comes around the corner, throws it down to find Fuller, and that is what causes that Ferris State timeout.
And while we have a second, let's check in with our sideline reporter, Leticia Vaselli.
Thank you, boys. And so, as we can see, the first 4 minutes here were kind of exciting, and as both teams are advancing closer and closer to one winner, the benches have been really, really excited and helped keep their starters very motivated. We'll be right back with more action right here on UINDY TV and the GLVC Sports Network.
Are you feeling alone in your faith? UINDY Catholic gives you an opportunity to get involved in a religious community on campus, providing sacramental needs and fellowship for prospective students and giving you a sense of belonging.
We just want you guys to know that God loves you, He delights in you, and He's in awe of you. And we would love to meet you. So you should come on out.
UINDY Catholic, a community for you.
Hey, it's Giselle here on 88.7 WICR. 88.7 The Diamond, the only jazz and classical station in Indianapolis, completely led by the students of the University of Indianapolis. Listen to us on iHeartRadio, TuneIn app, FM radio, HD radios, or even on our website at wicronline.org, a different kind of public radio.
Action back underway here at Nickerson Hall. 9-1 lead for the Tritons, and a turnover stolen away, but Fuller could not save it. Great hustle. Fuller clapping his hands. They'll say Bulldog ball. But again, the defense just been ferocious here. That was Fuller who got his hands on it.
And that's why, he's proven why he was the GLVC Defensive Player of the Year. And it really shows what the Tritons are building there in St. Louis.
Bob Sunvold at the helm on the bench, just breeding those great defensive players. One thing that he really focuses on is that side of the ball. They also do offense pretty well. There's a reason they're the number 2 seed here and probably the favorite to come out of this Midwest region, as a shot clock violation and the defense comes up big that time.
Yeah, we're just sitting here talking about how good of a defensive team they are, and they're just proving it right here. This is the second time, well, the first time they've gotten a shot clock violation. Second time they've been able to take it all the way down to the single digits.
There's Janier Harris. He'll inbound. He's number 10 in the yellow golden jerseys for UMSL. He played a lot yesterday. He had 8 points, 4 rebounds, a block, played 20 minutes. Also out there for the first time, Donovan Vickers, and a turnover. They threw it out of bounds. Vickers wears number 4. He played a great game yesterday against Parkside. 16 points. He was 4 for 7 from behind the arc. Big part of that run there in the second half. A lot of them coming in that 16-0 run. He knocked down 3 threes. Now it's Davidson. In for the first time, Solomon Oregbu. He's on the right wing wearing number 11. Now on the drive, Oleinka couldn't get it. Finds Grazoulis, and he could not finish. Harris the other way. Cisse. Hands off to Fuller. Inside, Cisse is open, and he got fouled. He went up strong, and he'll go to the line with the payoff.
Yeah, now in 5 minutes into this game, the Tritons have yet to let a field goal in. I mean, the only point that has been scored by the Bulldogs is a free throw.
Cisse didn't shoot a free throw yesterday, and he misses the first. He's only shot 3 free throws all year. He's just 1 for 3, make it now 1 for 4 from the stripe. Looking for his first point, too strong on that one as well. Goes 0 for 2. That's a thing the Tritons did poorly, very, very poorly yesterday. They just shot 50% from the line a day ago. They were 4 for 8 on the contest. Now here's a shot. Oregbu, his first one, rimming all the way. It touches all parts of the rim, but it's out, and rebound to Cisse.
Cisse almost knocked that one back into his own basket.
Vickers. He'll dance, kick out. Wabarocha, open look, had to get rid of it midair. Mid-shot, back to Vickers. Still 15 on the shot clock. Pick and roll. Cisse couldn't handle the pass. Stolen away by Oregbu, 3-on-2. Cutting Lee, couldn't finish, but they call a foul. A late whistle there. Tritons were already on the break, but they'll slow it up, and I think probably the right call there.
Yeah, Lee driving, and there's a little bit of contact underneath the basket.
Foul goes on Vickers. That's his first in the team's third. But to the line, Amari Lee. This is a guy who dishes the ball extremely well. Wearing number 2, he's in his redshirt junior season, but he leads the whole conference, the GLIAC conference, in assists and also assist-turnover ratio. Does that extremely well as he knocks down the first. And that's the first point for Ferris State in about 4 minutes. A 7-0 ends a 7-0 run for the Tritons. Second free throw makes it 9-3.
The Bulldogs need to make a field goal here. I mean, they've all of their 3 points are from free throws. They got to find something that's got to generate some points. I mean, they keep driving, but it keeps getting blocked underneath the basket there by Cisse.
And just as you mentioned Cisse's name, he'll sit down along with Sandquist into the game. Trevor Moore and Mason Kortelbaum. Here's Kortelbaum down low, looking for a shot, instead dishes. Harris rips it away, kicks back out. Still 15 on the clock. Vickers will slow it up. Moore didn't play well yesterday. 0 points in his 9 minutes. He was 0 of 3 from the field. He's in the far corner. Harris drives, 1 second, doesn't realize it. Shot clock violation, and there's a Bulldogs' great defensive possession.
Yeah, that was the first time this game we've really seen Ferris State hold the Tritons on that end.
Bulldogs trying to pull off what would be an upset. A lot of people expecting the Tritons to maybe run away with this game, especially after the performance they put on yesterday. And here's a tip away, turnover number 4. Vickers in transition, buries a 3.
It was a kind of a dirty transition there for Umsel. I mean, little stop and pop. He could have waited for more help, but decided to take it himself.
Oregbu got fouled on the drive. Just missed it. That foul going to go on the Tritons. Vickers, that's going to be his second foul. He'll have to check out. See him going to the bench. Coming back in, Madden Wright. And Wright, a true freshman, he grew up in St. Louis, and he won a 5A state championship in Missouri last year on the Missouri side, St. Louis, but he has been inserted into the starting lineup by Coach Sundvold, and he has done an outstanding job leading this offense. Ball in his hands most of the time. Another guy with the ball in his hands most of the time. Oregbu couldn't finish on the follow. Bingham puts it in. They're going to call a foul. Count the basket. Chance at a three-point play on the flying Bingham. Nice finish there over Kortelbaum. And the foul goes on him. That's the 5th team foul now on Umsel. Couple more. And the Bulldogs, I should say, will be at the line, already in some foul trouble. Vickers with 2. He's on the bench. Still just under 13 minutes here in the first half. And Bingham completes the 3-point play, cuts the lead down to 6.
This is the first time you've really seen Ferris State have some energy.
And a turnover on the other end. Bad pass, stolen away. Oregbu first. A little floater there, and he's got his first bucket. He's 1 for 3, 2 points now, 12-8.
Now there's a press being applied there by the Bulldogs, and it's really starting to show, and Umsel's getting flustered.
Bulldog fans don't agree with that one. That was Amari Lee who tried to jump the passing lane, poke it away, but they'll call a reach-in foul on Oregbu. Amari Lee came up with it, but the ball stays in the Tritons' possession. It's Moore, double-teamed. He lost it, out of bounds off of himself. Bulldogs defense coming up big and forcing a couple turnovers. Now Umsel's turned it over 5 times already.
And what I was saying last time, this full-court press is starting to be applied, and now all of a sudden it's a completely different ballgame. I mean, Ferris State has momentum, and then they scored. That's the big thing.
And Drew, that was one thing Parkside couldn't do at all yesterday, was turnover Umsel. They kept care of the ball extremely well. Only 6 turnovers the entire game yesterday. Already 5, and they capitalize off of it. It's Hazelton with the floater, and it's a 2-point game. Boy, Drew, the Bulldogs have come to play today. 3-on-2. Kortelbaum can't cash in the 3. Oregbu the rebound. Here he comes up the far end. Here he goes. Follow a tough shot, no good, left it well short.
And they got to run their offense somewhere else except Oregbu. I mean, he can't do everything. I mean, last game he scored 30 and 27.
Here's in right, finishes with the left hand. That was a tough finish inside over Amari Lee. Hangs and got that one to go. Back up to a 4-point game. 14-10. Next dead ball, media timeout, and 1. Count the bucket, Amari Lee. That one a tough finish. Boy, some incredible shot making by both sides here. Got that one to rim in, Amari Lee. He'll have a free throw when we come back. This will be our under 12 media timeout. And while we have a moment, let's check in down on the sidelines with our reporter, Leticia Vaselli.
Guys, Ferris State's head coach Andy Bronkema kept yelling at his players to try and be faster and to keep the game moving. And let me tell you, just like New Year's Eve, they celebrated when the Umsel's possession shot clock reached 0. And we have a pretty good crowd cheering for Ferris State, so I bet they're very excited to watch their players play. We'll be right back right here on the GLVC Sports Network and UINDY TV.
Bryce Young, right?
What did you say?
No, it's Bryce Young. It's obviously Bryce Young.
C.J. Stroud, the obvious pick for Steichen and the Colts.
Ohio State quarterbacks, we know they don't
I mean,
win.
come on. He's got the whole offense handed to him. Check out Last Call. We've got all the sports info you need from around the nation and right here on campus. Plenty of UINDY sports.
College football and college basketball.
The NFL.
The NBA.
MLB.
Don't forget about motorsports.
And I'll give you all the gambling picks you need to know to make some money. Right here on Last Call, Mondays at 4 o'clock on YouTube.
Bulldogs on a little bit of a run here, 9-2 run the last 2 minutes, and they've cut back into this lead. Umsel still on top though, Drew, 14-12, but biggest part of this run here by the Bulldogs has been their defense.
Yeah, it really has, and everything that has stemmed from that, it comes from the full court press that they've started to apply. I mean, the Trojans really don't know how to break it just yet. That'll be a development coming throughout the later of the game.
We'll have one free throw try, Amari Lee, who shoots 79% from the stripe on the year. He's already 2 for 2. He's got 4 points, chance to make it 5. This could make it a 1-point game, and he does just that. Lee plays very well off the bench for Coach Brakima. He had just 2 points yesterday, though. Already 5 early ones, so making his name known here in the semifinals.
Like I was saying, you got to get somebody else going other than a Regbu, and then no matter who that is, they just need to score.
Here's Madden Wright. 1-point lead, Umsel on top. Plenty of time here still in the first half. And Wright, kick out, Wabarocha, open look, decides not to shoot it. Instead, he'll drive, fall away, tough shot, couldn't get it. Amari Lee in transition, he'll finish, and Ferris State has their first lead of the day.
That was one heck of a drive there by Lee as he split the defense, put it up off the glass, and got the Bulldogs a lead.
Check out that drive, kidding me? That was Lee racing down the court, took it coast to coast. 7 points for him, 1-point lead for the Bulldogs. Fuller trying to answer, instead he'll kick out. Sandquist now got a 3.
Can't leave that man wide open if you are Ferris State.
It's a practice shot for Bowen Sandquist. Can't leave him open. He had daylight, and he makes him pay. Here's a steal. Well, ball's on the deck, and Wright comes up with it, turns it back over. Here's Bingham. Back to Bingham. Finishes. Amari Lee. The up and under, and the two-man game working for the Bulldogs. Here's a lob. And Fuller could not, Wabarocha, I should say, couldn't handle the pass, but it goes out of bounds off of Ferris State, and the Trojans will have it.
Lee's been making them pay there on the defensive end. He's just been all over the corner as he takes a seat here.
Ole Inca back on, as well as Aregbu and Grazoulis. Ben Davidson checks back on, as well as Jimmy Scholler. So 5 substitutions, a brand new 5. They'll run about 10 deep. They ran 10 yet. They ran only 9 yesterday. Here's Sandquist. He'll step back, launch another. That one well off.
I think he was expecting a little bit of contact there. And yes, he is. He just proved that one.
Aregbu can't find his shot from the outside. Rhythm has been shot here. He's only played a few minutes here of the first 10 minutes of play. Aregbu just 2 points. Here he is on the steal. Pokes it away, and he can't finish. Wonderful defense by Wabarocha made him hang and trying a tough finish. Here's Fuller on the other, and he can't finish. Ball is on the deck. Some bodies hit the floor, and the jump ball will keep it on this side of the court with the Tritons. We started the game with an incredible shot making here. Some more tough shots, but now they're just not falling. Fuller on one end, Aregbu on the other. Some incredible defense. Big testimony to why the shots are starting not to fall. Here's Trevor Moore looking for his 3, and he found the bottom. Was scoreless yesterday. He's on the board here today. He's got 3.
I think we could attribute it more to the defense than just the pure shot making.
Scholler quickly driving and finding his lefty layup off glass. Back and forth we go. Ferris State still down a penny. under 9 minutes here in the first half. On the cut, Cisse kick out. Moore, same spot, same result.
Can't leave him open there in the corner today. Like you said, scoreless yesterday, 6 fast points here today for Moore.
Davidson will try one, can't answer. Rebound, Cisse. He's already pulled down a few. That's his 4th. Moore, 2-man game. He'll pull up from the GLVC logo and he'll drill it. Moore off the bench. 8-0 run by him alone. And UMSL goes up by 6. Another steal. Now they get it back. Fuller, though, jumping the passing lanes. He's been everywhere. Oregbu can't find it. Shot's been off for Oregbu. Incredible defense again. Wabarocha defending him. Fuller blocked out of bounds. Scholler got his paw on it. And that'll go into the first row. That'll take us to our under 8 media timeout. 8 minutes on the clock and a 6-point lead for the Tritons. Check in with Leticia Vaselli down on the sidelines.
You know, guys, unlike some of the coaches we're used to broadcasting, like from the UINDY Greyhounds, Corsaro, the UMSL head coach is more on the calmer side. He doesn't pace as much. On the other hand, the Ferris State coach is so active and very interactive with the referees, with his players, and just constantly giving them feedback. But we'll be right back for the final 8 minutes of this very exciting game right here on UINDY TV and the GLVC Sports Network.
Six-point lead for UMSL, but they've kind of regressed towards the mean. They're shooting now 50% on the day. Still a lights out from downtown, though 63% from behind the arc. That's one thing they did incredibly well yesterday, Drew. They shot 61% for the game from the field, 46% from downtown. They were 11 for 24, and they're well on their way to another great shooting performance again.
I mean, you're going to credit that to Moore going 3 for 3 very, very fast there. Yeah. 8 points from him.
Oh, yeah.
And then you have Sandquist that you feel like you can't miss from beyond the arc.
Sandquist is 2 of 3. Trevor Moore 2 for 2 to start. Cisse back in after the dead ball. Also Harris back in. Fuller looks for one, and he's off. In for the first time, Ethan Erickson. He's got it on the right wing. He's guarded by Moore. Got it over to Chauffeur. Now it is Erickson. He'll try one over Moore. Couldn't find it. Left it short.
I think they got some contact there on that shot. Nothing called. The referees are really letting them play, especially down low.
Tritons went quickly the other way. Now they'll slow it up. Isaiah Fuller. Here's Moore. He scored the last 8, and here he is turning it over. 8th UMSL turnover. It's a 3-on-3. Ferris State. Oregbu can't find one. He cannot buy a bucket, but it'll go off of UMSL out of bounds. Triton fans in front of us don't agree with the call, but it will be Bulldog ball. Grazoulis off the inbound. He'll back down Cisse. Spins around, spins again. Shots up, got it to fall, and the foul.
Huge there for the Bulldogs as they kind of weathering the storm. Not only down 4. I mean, we've seen it go back and forth so far here in the first half. I mean, you just got to get some confidence if you are the Bulldogs. I mean, they've shown that they can score. It's just how can they score? I mean, you can't run through one person. Lee was that one person for a little bit, but utilize your big men down low and try and get them going.
A pumped up Veas Grazoulis for the Bulldogs. That was his first bucket, and he'll go to the line. Chance at a three-point play. Cashes in the free throw. Grazoulis didn't score yesterday off the bench. Played 15 minutes, and now he'll check out with a quick 3 brings the Bulldogs to within 3. Double teaming Moore. Tough pass. Fuller ahead now across the timeline with a couple seconds to spare. Fuller will slow it up. Sundvold will call something for the bench. Now here's Harris finding Moore. Can he get it a third time? Couldn't get it. Oh, a hard fall. That was Oliinka that hit the deck.
Surprised nothing was called there as his head hit really hard on that ground.
Luckily for him, he gets up just fine. Now he's holding the back of his head. But the ball goes out of bounds, and a foul is going to go on Harris of the Tritons. That's the 8th team foul, and that sends Oregbu to the line. They're in the bonus, the Bulldogs. They can really take advantage here the last 6.5 minutes or so, Drew.
Yeah, and putting them into the line is huge. I mean, they're shooting 76% on the season so far. And, I mean, that's about average in the NCAA. So sending them to the line could be huge, especially, like you said, they're in the bonus.
Oregbu is in his redshirt sophomore year, and he played for Parkside for a year, and now with the red jerseys up in Ferris State, he is 3rd in the GLIAC in points scored, and he's averaging about 18 a game. Played 27 minutes yesterday, dropped 30. They could not find any way of stopping him. Ashland, the Eagles, couldn't slow him down at all. He also leads the conference in steals, so he plays well on the defensive end as well. Got both free throws, 1-point game. Wabarocha, Fuller turns it over. 9th UMSL turnover. Bulldogs have numbers. Now they'll slow it up. Oregbu takes it in, and that's an offensive foul. Fuller sets his feet, takes it with his chest.
It seemed like earlier in the game that UMSL had all the control, especially of the ball, and now it seems like they can't hold on to the ball.
And how about the 2 number 11s, Isaiah Fuller and Solomon Oregbu. Oregbu will check out along with Oliinka. Back in Amari Lee and Michael Bingham. But if we ever see Fuller and Oregbu matched up on each other, you already know that a highlight's coming, either on the offense or defensive end. We've already seen plenty of occasions that going on this afternoon. Here's Fuller, gets it to Sandquist, fouled on the reach. Davidson scratches the wrist, and that will pick up his first foul. That's the team's 6th. One more, and the Tritons will be in the bonus for the final 5 and change.
I mean, at that point, if you have Sandquist standing out there on three-point land, you got to do something.
Fuller into the corner. Moore wearing his white headband. Fuller now from the left, cutting off a screen, lets him fly by. Sandquist bottom.
I mean, that's what I was talking about right there. Sandquist just gets their guy to fly by, wide open 3, like he's at practice.
3 for 4 from behind the arc for Sandquist on the day. He was 3 of 4 yesterday. Already got 10 points here today. Hazelton down low, double team, shots up, got it. And some excitement from Reese Hazelton, who's got few early points. He's got 4.
He averages 5 on the year, so that's huge for this Ferris State offense if you can get him going.
Wabarocha, kick out Harris, practice shot, well long. Bulldogs are leaving them open from out there, but they haven't been able to knock down those open looks. Just seems like they're knocking down the tough looks. Trevor Moore and Sandquist, they're doing their best impressions of that. Here's a missed shot, and a foul is going to go on Hazelton. Couldn't disagree more with that call. Hazelton. Drew, what did you see?
I mean, it looked like he got up, but never really touched the UMSL defender there. I don't know really what they were calling.
Yeah. And that will send the Tritons to the line. Now in the bonus, 7th team foul. That's the 2nd on Hazelton. He'll have to check out with those 2 fouls. Grazoulis back on for him, but Wabarocha will have a 1-and-1. And he played outstanding yesterday, Victor Wabarocha. finishes the game with 17 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. Another great defensive player. And he wears the goggles, helps his vision as he splashes the first free throw. Only shooting 58% from the line on the year. But guys like Wabarocha and Isaiah Fuller, you know, the Tritons are tough to stop.
Yeah, especially when they're on their game. I mean, both of them together, it's a tough task for any other defense.
Left that second one short, splits the pair. Grazoulis down low, he got it. Found some positioning on Harris. Timeout, UMSL. Bob Sunvold wants to talk it over. 4:27 to go. And that little layup by Grazoulis cuts the lead to 1. 4:27 left in a 1-point game. Let's check in with Leticia Vaselli.
Coach Bronkima from Ferris State was comforting his player Olapo that he's doing everything he can and to keep his head up. And you'll get to hear from him and also the head coach of UMSL as we approach halftime. We'll be right back here on UINDY TV and the JLVC Sports Network.
Across divisions, sports, championships, and schools for nearly 500,000 student athletes. College sports create lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. We've raised the academic bar, so more are earning degrees, creating healthier campuses by working with the nation's brightest minds, and making sure more have the chance to succeed and are supported on their journey. But beyond the numbers, it's about opportunity, and we're working to provide it for every student athlete.
It's a 1-point lead for the Tritons, trying to get into the Midwest Regional Championship for the second straight year, Drew. And with a 1-point lead over Ferris State, it's been a pretty back and forth first half.
I mean, Missouri St. Louis has had the lead pretty much the majority of the game. There's only been one lead by the Bulldogs when it was 15-14. But the Tritons have come out here to play today. Started off really hot, kind of cooled off there in the middle of the first half, and ever since then, it's just been a back and forth ball game.
At the same time, we know that UMSL is a second half team. They were absolutely on their A game second half a day ago against Wisconsin Parkside. They scored 50 points in half number 2, 85 for the game. And they went on a 16-0 run, a 10-0 run, 25-5 run, and really took that game for theirs. Here they are with a 1-point lead. Davidson can't get the bottom, but he'll have a chance to go to the line and take the lead for the Bulldogs. They've only led once today. They led 15-14 about 7 minutes ago. And they'll have a chance to take the lead here. Davidson, the 79% foul shooter. Buries that one to tie it. Madden Wright back on for Trevor Moore. Just under 4 minutes here in the first half. Ferris State hosted the GLIAC tournament as they take their first lead, but they were upset by Northern Michigan, who was the 3 seed in that championship. And that was a championship in which Oregbu and Ethan Erickson didn't play in that championship game. Big part of how the Bulldogs were upset. But now they find themselves with a 1-point lead here in the tournament that they want to come away with an Elite 8 berth down in Evansville. Amari Lee got blocked. They wave off the shot, but a foul is going to go on Harris. And if that is on Harris, that should be his second foul. No, they'll sit on Wabarocha. That's his second foul.
His UMSL defense has really put the #1 offense in the GLIAC on locks today.
Amari Lee at the line. Chance at 2 free throws here. Could extend the Bulldog lead. Got the first. Amari Lee has just played outstanding already today. He's got 8 early points, like we mentioned, Drew. Ashland, the Eagles were really able to keep him in check yesterday. Just 2 points. Did have a couple rebounds, assists, doing it on defense, a steal and a block, but his offensive powers are coming full swing now with 8 points. He's got a rebound and 2 assists here in 9 minutes. Chance to make it 9 points at the line. Clock stopped at 3:25 and just does that. 3-point lead, the largest of the afternoon for Ferris State. And here's a turnover. Bingham got it. No, they're going to wave it off. Offensive foul. Isaiah Fuller steps in front of him. But again, another bad pass and a turnover. Number 10 on Umsel. They've really coughed it up here in the first half.
Yeah, and it's just been uncharacteristic of them to just put the ball on the floor like they have.
Just a lot of miscommunication, it seems like, and, just lazy passes. When they teach you in, Pee Wee basketball that when a pass is thrown to you, you run towards the ball. You don't run away from the ball because that allows the defense to jump that passing lane so often if they try. Right now the Bulldogs are doing just that. Here the Umsel Tritons break the press rather easily. Sandquist now locked up. Back out to Moore. Still 20 on the shot clock. Nothing to worry about there. Just over 3 minutes left here in the first half. Umsel trails by 3. Here's Vickers. Got to the elbow, got to the paint. Now he'll circle around and back out. Guarded heavily by Davidson. Vickers can't cash in the 3.
Great defense there by the Bulldogs, forcing a not so good shot by Vickers.
Grzoulis knocks it down and runs back the other way with a full fist. 6-point lead.
Big man shooting threes out there, all 6-10 of them, knocks it down.
33% on the year for Grzoulis. You can hear the Bulldog faithful. You can see him on the screen as well. Now here's Vickers, dribbling in the eyes of Davidson. Looking for Fuller. They can't post him up. Foul is going to go on Amari Lee, who is claiming he got pushed off on. But that will send Fuller to the line. That's going to be the first foul on Amari Lee, but the 9th team foul. It'll be a 1-and-1 for Isaiah Fuller here.
And that just quieted all of the Bulldog crowd.
Fuller shot 2 free throws already today. He's only 1 for 5 from the field after yesterday's 11 for 14 performance. Now he's just 1 for 5, and he misses the free throw. So he doesn't get the second of the 1-and-1. 6-point lead. The Bulldogs have possession. Chance to extend. Erickson out. Grzoulis thought about another. Crossover. Great movement. Swishes home the jumper. Grzoulis showing his skill set, the big guy.
Crossed over, Cisse, pulled back jumper and gets it to go in. Woo. He's having himself one heck of a first half.
Cisse tries to answer. Sandquist got him up in the air. Won't shoot it. Cisse again, hands off Vickers. Now Fuller, call for a screen. They'll work the pick and roll. Fuller will try a baseline jumper, and that's true.
Grzoulis averaging 7 points a game. Has 10 in the first half here so far.
Lee. Now Olinka down low. Grzoulis got it again. Grzoulis up and down the court he goes, and he's got 12 points now. 5 for 6 from the field. Grzoulis, and the Bulldog lead is 8. Cisse, kick out Moore. He'll try one off right. Rebound back to Moore, outside Vickers. Tees up a 3, bottom.
He'll leave that one wide open there for Vickers. He's going to knock that one down every time.
Under a minute to play, just 40 seconds left. Bulldogs trying to go into the locker room with the lead. They're up by 5. Tritons trying to end the half with some momentum. Can they get a stop? Just 11 on the shot clock. Amari Lee, guarded by Vickers, takes a screen outside Grzoulis, inside Davidson, off his foot, out of bounds. Tritons force a turnover. And the defense comes up big again, Drew.
And that's big for the Tritons. I mean, down by 5 right now with 20 seconds to go until half. They need a bucket here to go into half with some momentum.
Trailing by 5. They were just down by 8, but a big shot by Donovan Vickers, a 3 a moment ago. Brought it to within 5. Chance to bring it to within 3 or 2. Vickers got it again. Big 3 to end the half, and the Tri-Ins go into the locker room down by just 2, Drew.
That's what I was talking about right there. As Vickers knocks that one down, and we have a ball game.
We'll have Coach Brankima here in just a moment. Head coach for Ferris State, as they'll go into the locker room up by 2, the leading coach. 39-37 halftime score. And Drew, when we go into the second half here, actually let's step aside and we'll be back with more from the second half action here. You're watching UINDY TV and the GLVC Sports Network.
Across divisions, sports, championships, and schools for nearly 500,000 student athletes. College sports create lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. We've raised the academic bar, so more are earning degrees, creating healthier campuses by working with the nation's brightest minds, and making sure more have the chance to succeed and are supported on their journey. But beyond the numbers, it's about opportunity, and we're working to provide it for every student athlete.
To them, the whole world looks like an opportunity, one to be seized, built upon, and made better for their sport and the people around it. To student athletes, every opportunity is a chance to change what could be and show the world what opportunity can do.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby.
Inside the 30. Touchdown. Michaela burns it. An incredible finish by Holmes.
The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org.
I am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
on my team, on my campus, and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy.
I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all.
I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United as one.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it. It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby.
Inside the 30. Touchdown. Michaela burns it. An incredible finish by Holmes.
The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org/opportunity.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Wow, that's so many memories, I would say. I think the things that when my teammates and I get together, what we enjoy the most, I think, are just all the stories, all the things that happen between us playing against some of the best schools. You know, we played some Division I schools. We beat Eastern Illinois twice. A thrill for a Division II school to go in and to beat a Division I school. And I think we remember, you know, feeling like kind of the David versus Goliath. And that's what I think we realized, if you can come together as a group, you know, that you can have success. Well, I think any competitive person, it's tough. But I still look at it today, you know, it's been 30 years since I played competitive basketball, and In the business world and the education world, you lose, and things happen, and you go back to your playing days, and you got knocked down, and you got to get back up. So that was kind of our mantra. I think to have dreams. As a little kid, I had dreams that I wanted to do something athletically, and basketball was my passion. And so I don't care what it is, do something that you like, that you're passionate about. That to me is the most important thing, and then work to achieve it. And if you work hard enough at it, I think your dreams can come true, even when people tell you it'll never happen. And that to me was kind of the David versus Goliath thing. Yeah, and it's a cliche, but I do think life is a game. Life is a competition. And I think
All right. Hey, everybody. I'm down here with head coach Bob Sandvold. Coach, can you give us a little preview of what that conversation was like in the locker room at halftime?
Well, we put them on the free throw line. They made 12 free throws. They haven't beat us with field goals. They haven't beat us with big baskets. They're beating us at the free throw line. So we've got to do a better job of getting back on defense. And then offensively, we did a bad job turning over 10 times against their press, and that's not like us. So we're just going to try to get back to doing what we can do, handle the ball better, try to get good shots, and then really cinch up our defense.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you so much. Good luck.
All right, Leticia, thanks for that sideline report and that interview with Coach Sandvold. Still about 3.5 minutes away from the second half, so we're going to step aside and be back to preview this second half. You're watching UINDY TV on the GLVC Sports Network.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby.
Inside the 30. Touchdown. Michaela Spurgeon. An incredible finish by Holmes.
The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org.
Hey, it's Giselle here on 88.7 WICR.
88.7 The Diamond, the only jazz and classical station in Indianapolis, completely led by the students of the University of Indianapolis. Listen to us on iHeartRadio, TuneIn app, FM radio, HD radios, or even on our website at wicronline.org, a different kind of public radio.
I pledge.
I pledge.
I pledge.
I am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
on my team, on my campus, and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy.
I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all.
I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United as one.
Back here at Nickerson Hall, it's the semifinal one here, the NCAA tournament, Drew. It's the UMSL Tritons and the Ferris State Bulldogs, and 2-point game here heading into the second 20 minutes of action. The Bulldogs on top by a couple. Big thoughts from that first half there, Drew.
Yeah, Missouri St. Louis started off hot, up 9-1 there in the early beginnings of the first half. And then they just got kind of careless with the ball, couldn't really hold on to it. And the Bulldogs fought back. And what we heard from Coach Sandvold there in the interview, he's sending the Ferris State Bulldogs to the line. 12 from 13 from the charity stripe as of right now. They just can't have that if they want to try and come away with a victory. They're just giving them free points at that point.
And, you know, you mentioned the free throw, you know, differential in that first half. A lot of the points for Ferris State coming from that stripe, and a big part of that, they got in the bonus pretty early.
And they did, and we saw it. They had the bonus with 8 minutes left in the half, and that's really hard to do. It's really hard to defend if you're UMSL and not sending them to the free throw line at that point.
Second half underway here at Nickerson Hall to inbound Ferris State, and the Bulldogs will control, have a 2-point lead, but coming out of the break, hoping for some more offense. Here's Hazelton, outside, Schauler. Now Oliinka. He'll take Fuller inside, spinning around, acrobatic move, outside. Bingham got it, free throw line jumper, lead back up to 4. And now here comes that full court press again, Drew.
Yeah, and that's good that we're seeing it early to start the half for the Bulldogs. I mean, they really had no defense there when they weren't applying that full court press.
Vickers starts the second half out there on the floor, and he got his first bucket. And Wright moves to the bench to start this second 20 minutes of play. Vickers has had the offensive rhythm tonight, and he knocks that one down.
I mean, he sent them in a half on a high note, hitting that corner 3.
Give him 9 points on the day. Tough shot, but the offensive rebound. Bulldogs have it again. Diving to the floor, Davidson got it to Oliinka. Drives in, Sandquist, cross-court pass. Davidson blocked by Cisse. What a closeout there. Drew Cisse got his fingertips on it.
Hard to shoot over the 6'10 Drew Cisse out there in the corner. Like Giannis out there.
Looks like Zion Williamson from Duke a couple years ago had some impressive, incredible athletic closeouts. Cisse doing his best impression. Here's Sandquist. Call him Steph Curry. Won't shoot it, though, this time. Here's Vickers dancing on Davidson. Fell to the floor. Coughs it up to Sandquist. Launches one, blocked. Bingham got his hand on it for another rejection. No shot clock violation. Possession Bulldogs. In the corner, Oliinka. Now Scholler. Now it's Bingham. He'll launch one. Could not find it on the 3. Oliinka cleans it up. Can't get that one to go.
A little too hard there off the glass for Oliinka.
Rebound, Donovan Vickers. He's everywhere. 11 points. Couple rebounds. Cleans it up, Sandquist. Couple minutes gone in the second half. 2-point lead here for the Ferris State Bulldogs here in semifinal number 1. Here's Wabarocha. Pump fake. Got it up. Got it to fall. Rock the baby, Victor Wabarocha. How about that finish? That was tough. And Wabarocha now, he's got 5 points. Pretty quiet today. At 17 a day ago. There's a foul. I think it's going to go on Drew Cisse on the take. Scholler got in. Jimmy Scholler. Nice drive got by Vickers, and he'll go to the line. That's the 3rd foul on Drew Cisse, but he'll stay in for right now. We do have a substitution coming. We have Janier Harris at the scorer's table. He'll come in after this first free throw as Scholler gets it to fall. And Wabarocha will come out. Cisse will stay on the floor with 3 fouls, Drew.
Yeah, that's kind of surprising. I mean, you're going to need him at the end of the game with how close this one's been the entire way. You're going to need that shot-blocking presence down low.
Scholler shoots 59% from the stripe, but buries both. And the lead back up to a deuce. 43-41 the score. Here's the lob and the jam. Cisse from Harris on the rack attack. And an offensive foul. Tritons with some momentum here. Watch out, Ferris State. How about that highlight? Harris on the drive, the 2-on-1 with numbers, and Cisse with the flush.
That offensive foul there on the other end was kind of fast, as it looked like Fuller just came up out of nowhere and took that charge.
Now 3 minutes gone here in half number 2, and a travel. Vickers walks with it. That's the 11th turnover of the game for Missouri St. Louis.
And that's what they average on the season.
But like we talked about earlier, just 6 turnovers yesterday. What's been the difference from, yesterday, really just pinpoint accuracy, every time down the court, whether it be passes, dribbling, they were almost crystal clear from with the ball yesterday.
I do credit that to the full court press that the Bulldogs have been putting on them. I mean, they really don't know how to make time with their decisions, and when they do make their decisions, it might be forced or rushed.
Hazelton couldn't finish. They get it back on the offensive board. Here's Olinka. He'll launch a 3, his first of the day. Couldn't find it. Off the mark, rebound and a foul. Hazelton reaches in, and he is upset with himself. The length of the court from their basket, and reaches in, picks up his 3rd foul. And he'll have to come off. Grazoulis will come back in for him, and an upset Reese Hazelton will trot over to the Bulldog bench. He'll get a high five from Andy Bronkema, but
bringing back in Grazoulis is not the worst thing ever. He was on fire there in the first half.
12 first half points. He was 5 for 6 from the field. Also launched and knocked down a 3. He was 1 for 1 from there. Grazoulis 33% from behind the arc, 48% on the year from the field. Offensive foul. Offensive foul on the Tritons. If it's on Cisse, that's his 4th. It is. Cisse, he'll have to go to the bench with 4 fouls. Isaiah Fuller trying to comfort him, but Cisse, upset with himself, smacks the UMSL bench in frustration. He'll go to the end of bench. That offensive foul, just a moving screen. Have to set your feet, Drew,
Yeah, and it's a hard foul to call, too, especially since it is his 4th. So, I mean, he's going to be sitting for a while now that we have 16 minutes to go left in the game.
Now under 16. All notched up at 43. Solomon Aregbu. Down low, Oli Inca. Amari Lee also checks in. Oli Inca got it to fall. Little floater, and Oli Inca now, that's his first bucket on the day. He's 1 for 3. That's got 3 points now on the day.
Nice spin move down low by Oli Inca, and just to get a bucket there in that crucial time.
Harris, he got fouled. Pretty tight whistle by the officials here in the second half. A lot of fouling, and that will stop the clock and send us to our under 16 media timeout. 2-point lead for the Bulldogs. Let's go down the sideline with Leticia Vaselli.
Hi guys, so down here on the sidelines it looks very stressful, and I'm sure that both coaches are not very content. You heard from head coach of UMSL first, and when I interviewed him at halftime, he's not very happy with the way the things went on the first half, but hopefully he can get those things fixed in the second half. So we'll be right back right here on UINDY TV and the GLVC Sports Network.
Are you feeling alone in your faith? UINDY Catholic gives you an opportunity to get involved in a religious community on campus, providing sacramental needs and fellowship for prospective students and giving you a sense of belonging.
We just want you guys to know that God loves you, He delights in you, and He's in awe of you, and we would love to meet you. So you should come on out.
UINDY Catholic, a community for you. A 2-point lead for the Bulldogs. That's the same as it was going into the break. 6 points apiece by both sides here in the second half. 45-43. If you're just joining us, Jarenki to my left, Leticia Vaselli down on the sidelines. Graham Shear on hand. We're in semifinal 1 of this Midwest Regional. It's the UMSL Tritons and the Ferris State Bulldogs. Coming up later, Northern Michigan and McKendree, the GLVC champs, and the GLIAC champions. Here's Vickers, got it on a 3, and UMSL takes the lead.
Vickers has been hot from downtown. And he hit that one in the first half, hit that one right there. 4 for 5 on the day for a 3-point bucket for Vickers.
Give him 14 points to lead all scorers, and here we have a turnover. Grazoulis could not handle the poor pass from Oli Inca, and that's the 10th turnover of the day for Ferris State. Both teams a little lazy with the ball here on offense today. Maybe shouldn't say both teams are extremely lazy, because that defense by both sides has just been stifling, Drew.
Yeah, let's give credit to that. I mean, I wouldn't say they're that lazy making it this far in the NCAA tournament, but
you're right about that. Fuller, he's not lazy. Another guy, Sandquist, couldn't get it short on a three. Rebound to Oregbu. Here he comes up the far side. Crosses over, switches on to Wabarocha. Now it's Lee. Now here's Bingham, down low, pass tipped away. Nice defensive possession by the Tritons. Fuller tips it away. Wabarocha comes up the court. Now it's back to Fuller. With another turnover, a couple turnovers in a row for the Bulldogs, make it 11 on the day. Tritons have 12. Let's see if they can capitalize. They already have 15 points off turnovers, and they couldn't make it 17. Harris too strong in the layup.
You got to capitalize on those if you're going to win. They're in the first half. Points off of turnovers went in the way of the Tritons.
Turnover number 12. Oregbu shuffles his feet. He got inside, a quick spin move, but again, great defense. Fuller has been everywhere. Big part, and shows why he is the GLVC Defensive Player of the Year. Tritons have numbers. Fuller down the lane, got blocked, but a foul. Grazoulis says, hey, I was holding the ball, I took it out of his hands, but they'll call a foul on the Bulldogs, and it's going to go on Grazoulis. That's his second.
Take a look right here. Fuller drives.
I'm not sure I agree with that call.
That was a little close one there as Grazoulis just kind of grabbed the ball out of midair.
Yeah, check that out. I just think that Grazoulis got that ball clean.
I do too. It might have been the hard fall there by Fuller that kind of set off that whistle.
Might have clipped the legs. Grazoulis clipping Fuller. He'll shoot two, and he got the first free throw. But how about Isaiah Fuller? Been with the Tritons for a couple years, but, several of the seniors last year. Steve Webb graduating. Fuller stepping into that leadership role. Knocks down both free throws. He'll check out now, but he has been a big part of this Tritons run here, Drew.
I mean, that's pretty much with every team that's going to be good. I mean, you have to grow as a team. And if you're going to have those people step up and learn throughout their entire 4 years, and once you get a group of guys that have learned through those 4 years, and that's when you can create something special.
Tritons trying to make a deep March run, trying to get to weekend number 2, and Amari Lee trying to put a stop to that himself. He's got 14 points. He's got 11 points as he drills that little 10-foot jumper. How about that? Fall away Jay made it look easy.
It did look easy. From this angle, it didn't look like it was going in at all, but Lee's making it look good here tonight.
The margin is just 1. Here's Sandquist. Back to Viggers. Viggers has the hot hand, got inside, and he got the finish. Finger roll layup with the lefty layup off glass. Vickers now with 16.
That went right over the hand of Olayinka.
Olayinka drives, kick out. Lee, open look, practice shot.
That was a big shot there for the Bulldogs. Tie this one back up.
Amari Lee has really struggled from downtown, but if you leave him that wide open, he's going to make you pay. And we're all tied up at 50. Just shooting 17% from behind the arc, but he tries and knocks down his first 3-ball of the day. Vickers trying to answer. He'll try one. That one too strong. Rebound fought for, taken by Wabarocha. Offensive rebound for the Tritons. 12:15 to go here in the second half. Wabarocha on the drive. Got him up in the air. Couldn't finish. No call. The whistle. Officials swallow it that time.
Wabarocha was just looking for a foul there. Threw his whole entire body into Grazoulis.
Olinka drives off of the foot of, I think that went off of his own foot. Ball's on the deck and a jump ball. Arrow favors, I believe the arrow favors Ferris State. Either way, that'll take us to our under 12 media timeout. All tied up at 50. 50-50 balls have been a huge part of today. Let's check in down on the sidelines with Leticia Vaselli.
Guys, and the crowd is getting wild in here. We had a couple of fans from Ferris State kind of going a little out of their limits and just, you know, just screaming a lot. But I'm glad that at least the energy is being passed through to the athletes. So we'll see how the rest of them behave and the rest of this game goes with 11 minutes remaining right here on UINDY TV and the GLVC Sports Network.
Bryce Young, right?
What did you say?
No, it's Bryce Young. It's obviously Bryce Young.
C.J. Stroud, the obvious pick for Steichen and the Colts.
Ohio State quarterbacks, we know they don't
I mean,
win.
come on. He's got the whole offense handed to him. Check out Last Call. We've got all the sports info you need from around the nation and right here on campus. Plenty of UINDY sports.
College football and college basketball.
The NFL.
The NBA.
MLB.
Don't forget about motorsports.
And I'll give you all the gambling picks you need to know to make some money right here on Last Call, Mondays at 4 o'clock on YouTube.
Tied all up at 50. UMSL and Ferris State. Still 12 minutes to go here in the second half. Plenty of time. But this one's shaping up to be an incredible finish, Drew.
I think it will be. I mean, early in the early part of this game, we thought it was kind of going to be a rocky one there, as Ferris State really couldn't find out their footing. And then all of a sudden, we're here now 50-50. Just under 12 to go. I think we're primed and ready for a fantastic ending.
Coach Bronkema is still drawing up the full court press. Now Lee will back off and let Fuller walk it into the front court. Now he's at the top of the key. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Fuller getting into the offense, gets it to Wabarocha. He'll drive, got to the cup, couldn't finish, but he got fouled in the air. He'll go to the line.
And that one, he absorbed a lot of contact there. I would have been really surprised if nothing was called.
2 free throws coming for Victor Wabarocha. Had 17 points yesterday. Held pretty much well in check. He's been off from the field. Can't find his rhythm super well. He's 2 for 7 from the field. Give him now 6 points on that free throw. He's just 2 for 3 from the stripe today. But they, you know, even when the offense isn't working for guys like Fuller, guys like Wabarocha, they find ways to get themselves in rhythm at the free throw line and also on the defensive end.
Yeah, and that's one thing that really sets him apart, too, is like he's been more active on the defensive end than the scoring end, obviously. I mean, he's had a little bit of a drought. Those are his first points in a while.
Coming off a screen, Erickson couldn't find the 3, left it short. Moore on the run out, slows it up, back to the flying eye. Now here's Victor. Harris might have pushed off, cross-court pass. Swings it, Moore, drives, hangs, couldn't finish. Fuller couldn't find it. Wabarocha tries one at the horn, he'll rattle in a 3.
And maybe those free throws got him going there as Wabarocha barely beats the buzzer.
And how about Fuller, the awareness to kick it out from the baseline right underneath the basket. Mari Lee off on a shot, rebound Tritons, and a foul will send it the other way. 6 team fouls on the Bulldogs here in the second half. And they're going to say that foul on Dolapo Olinka. That's his second. 6th team, 5-point lead, 10:39 to go.
Ferris State's been held scoreless for the last 2:15.
Erickson will sit down. Scholler back on. Out there with him. Davidson, Oregbu. Offensive foul.
Yeah, that was a very obvious push off there. It looked like Moore got up in the grill of Oregbu there and just tried to push off, create some separation and get open.
All I saw was Oregbu fall into the inbounding Sandquist, and quickly the official says offensive foul. We'll stay on this side of the court. Ferris State inbounds. Oregbu, he's been held in check. Just 4 points tonight. Had 30 yesterday against Ashland. Eagles couldn't guard him. Triton's doing a much better job. Here is Oregbu trying to get some rhythm. Tipped away. Fuller, hands on it. 3 seconds on the clock. 2 seconds, 1 second. Oregbu off the side of the backboard. Shot clock violation.
A very good defensive stand there by the Tritons, and a very awkward shot that Oregbu had to try and put up.
And the Triton defense will let him hear it. The faithful, the bench, the fans, all the Tritons clicking here this afternoon. Timeout, Ferris State. And with that, we're also going to step aside and be back. 10 minutes, 18 seconds to go here in semifinal number 1. It's a 5-point lead for the Tritons. Back for more in a moment. You're watching UINDY TV and the GLVC Sports Network.
Award-winning news coverage. Brought to you by ethical journalists that care about you. We have you covered on crime, latest on sports, and the best in entertainment. This is UINDY TV News.
Back here at Nickerson Hall, see some replays of that pass. Fuller, the awareness, Wabarocha, the tray, and that's helped UMSL get off to this 5-point lead here. Fuller and Wabarocha doing their best 1-2 punch. Braun and Wade and the Tritons trying to get to their back-to-back Midwest Regional Final. Still got 10 minutes to go here, but the Tritons do lead by 5. Sandquist makes it 8. And he holds a 3 up as he runs back and backpedals into the backcourt. Sandquist lets it fly, and he is amazing from out there.
Yeah, if you're the Bulldogs, you don't want to get him going.
Davidson rattles in a 3.
As we're just trading blows, back and forth we go. And we're primed for a great one.
Sandquist late on the closeout. Davidson makes him pay. Davidson, that's his first 3 ball of the afternoon. He's 1 for 3 from out there, 5 points. In right, back on. Sandquist thought about the 3, picks it up, gets it to Harris. Inside, backing down. Wabarocha spins, baseline. Nice defense, no travel. Shot's good. Wabarocha, the finish. And the flex.
Very surprised that travel was not called there on Wabarocha underneath the basket.
Jimmy Scholler. Here's a Regbu. Back to Scholler. Now Davidson. He'll get inside, but he got bumped, stripped away. Triton defense knocks it out of bounds. 17 on the shot clock. Under 9 on the game clock. Fuller will check out. Vickers back on. Vickers has 16 on the night, 6 of 8 from the field, 4 of 6 from downtown. Here he is guarding Oregbu. Here's a star-studded matchup. Oregbu across the lane, floaters up, left it strong.
Awkward shot there from Oregbu, just trying to flick. He felt like he was trying to force that one in.
Vickers. The great defense. Let's see if they can pay it off. Tritons trying to extend this 7-point lead. Vickers. The lob, Harris, the finish. Highlight play, and UMSL goes up by 9.
And they're really firing on all cylinders right now, and I feel like the Bulldogs really don't know what to do.
Foul will slow things up. See the play there as Harris got it to Vickers, the pick and roll, and Vickers, wonderful feed. Harris, the finish. That was an impressive pick and roll that's been working all over the court for the Tritons here this afternoon.
When do you think we'll see Cisse again here in this one?
Well, with those 4 fouls, I'm not sure. Right now, though, Hazelton doing everything he can, taking advantage of Cisse not being on the court. Hazelton, now he goes up to 6 points on the day, and he cuts the lead back down to 7.
I was just about to say, I mean, if you're Ferris State, you have to attack the glass if Cisse's not in there.
Wabarocha hanged, but he cannot get it. Strong on the shot. Oregbu the other way. Bulldogs down by 7. Open 3 look. Scholler got it. And here come the Bulldogs. It's a 4-point game.
Scholar's shooting 30% from beyond the arc this year, and that's someone that if he gets going, then you'll have to watch out for him.
62-58, 4-point game. Harris got bumped, and he'll go to the line. He got fouled in the air. That'll send us to immediate timeout. 7:25 to go. 4-point lead for the Tritons. Let's check in down on the sidelines with our sideline reporter, Leticia Vaselli.
Hi everyone, and this game, it just keeps getting exciting every single minute, every single second. And the UMSL bench, just in this last timeout, was talking about how they need to continue to stay in sync and how they bounced back, but they have to stay together and work together as a team to get this done. We'll be right back here on UINDY TV and the GLVC Sports Network.
Are you feeling alone in your faith? UINDY Catholic gives you an opportunity to get involved in a religious community on campus, providing sacramental needs and fellowship for prospective students and giving you a sense of belonging.
We just want you guys to know that God loves you, He delights in you, and He's in awe of you. And we would love to meet you. So you should come on out.
UINDY Catholic, a community for you.
Points off turnovers, big part of UMSL's 4-point lead, but the Bulldogs cutting back into it. They've out-rebounded the Tritons by 3, 27-24 in that category, and they've got off and running, Drew.
Yeah, they have, and that's what's really separated these two teams so far here in the second half. But it's the same thing we saw in the first half as well. I mean, UMSL got off to this hot start, and then Ferris State just battled back. And I think that could be the same thing that's going to go on here as the second half continues.
Some foul trouble for both sides. Hazelton has 4. He's off the court for now. Cisse has 4. He's off the court. It'll be Grazoulis, and Harris is going to play the 5 for the Tritons. He's at the line right now. Buries the first free throw. Chance to make it a 6-point game with this one. And he got that as well. Bulldogs trying to fight back here, Drew. What do you need to see from him?
I mean, Cisse has those 4 fouls. If you go at him and he gets a 5th, that just changes the whole complexion of the rest of this game.
Cisse back onto the court. Harris will check out after the 2 made free throws. Davidson now 1 leg shot, couldn't fall, and it's out of bounds off of Ferris State. UMSL ball, says that baseline official, to the delight of the Triton faithful. Fuller looks to inbound. He'll tuck back in his shirt. Full court press, very dangerous today.
And it's worked. It has. It's done its job for the most part.
UMSL breaks it pretty easily that time. Still 15 on the shot clock. Vickers dribbling with the left. Cisse up top. Vickers on the drive, found some space, got it to fall. 18 points for Donovan Vickers.
And he's really taken over this game. I mean, he's been lethal from 3, and he's been able to drive the ball well.
And a turnover and a timeout. Bowen Sandquist diving to the deck, and he has the awareness to grab it, and he'll call timeout. That will be the first timeout of this second. Oh no, they're going to call a foul. He motioned for timeout, but the official says the foul came before the timeout call. That foul is going to go on Ben Davidson. That's his 3rd. And Drew, that's a costly foul as well, because all the way on the other side of the court, 8th team foul sends Sandquist to the line.
I thought they granted him a timeout there, but I'm pretty sure UMSL would rather take this than have to burn a timeout.
But off on the first half, the 1-and-1, doesn't get the second, tapped out of bounds by UMSL. Ferris State ball, so they come out clean.
That's not a often miss there by Sandquist, an 80% free throw shooter on the year.
Sandquist 1 of 2 from the line today. Here is Bingham. Now it's Erickson. Oregbu on the drive. Stops, fall away, tough shot. Got it to go.
That was kind of dirty there from Oregbu.
Over the outstretched arms of Fuller. One of the only times that Fuller hasn't been able to stop Oregbu. Got the better of him that time. Cuts the lead down to 6. Still plenty of time, just under 6 minutes to go. But Ferris State needs to put together a stop. Vickers trying to answer. Cisse in the corner, tipped out of bounds. Bingham got his paw on it. And just 5 seconds on the shot clock. The Tritons have to go quick.
And I'd watch for Sandquist here to get up a 3.
Sandquist is in the far corner. He's guarded by Bingham. Here's Fuller to inbound. To guard the inbound, Jimmy Scholler. Got it into Moore. He'll drive to the baseline, has to put one up, and just off the front iron. Out in transition, pull up Jay Erickson, left it short. Boy, that would have been a heartbreaking 3 for UMSL fans, because Erickson, don't want him to get hot. He shoots just under 50% from downtown, but couldn't get the transition bucket. Here's Vickers now. Fuller on the handoff. Kick out Moore. Open look. Off target.
UMSL shooting over 50% from beyond the arc in this game.
Oregbu, he'll tee one up. Short again. Neither team hitting from outside right now. Both teams ice cold from behind the arc. Vickers, open lane, got it to go.
As the defense there for Ferris State kind of just collapsed.
And how about the pass by Drew Cisse?
Big man finding the little man down low, it feels like.
Scholler couldn't finish. Skine for the board. Fuller got it to Sandquist, and now they're going to grant them the timeout. Baseline official says Sandquist called timeout. That's going to be the first timeout of the half for the Tritons. They'll have 2 timeouts remaining, 2 timeouts for both sides. 4:12 to go. I think they're going to call this a media timeout, and while they do, we'll check in down on the sidelines with Leticia Vaselli.
4 minutes left into this really close game, and as you can see, even my voice is cracking from excitement. And after this, you'll get to hear soon from the head coach of the winning team, whether that's UMSL or Ferris State, because the way this game is going, we have no idea who that will be. So stay tuned for the last 4 minutes of this game right here on UINDY TV and the GLVC Sports Network.
Are you feeling alone in your faith? UINDY Catholic gives you an opportunity to get involved in a religious community on campus, providing sacramental needs and fellowship for prospective students and giving you a sense of belonging.
We just want you guys to know that God loves you, He delights in you, and He's in awe of you, and we would love to meet you. So you should come on out.
UINDY Catholic, a community for you.
A 6-point lead for UMSL, but Ferris State trying to chip away. They've got 26 points in the paint this afternoon, trying to add to that. And it looks like with 4 fouls, Reese Hazelton will re-enter the floor. He is wearing number 35. You see him just off the right of your screen there. He'll guard Drew Cisse. Some foul trouble for both with 4 fouls. 4 minutes, 10 seconds to go, and a turnover. Oregbu jumps the passing lane, shots up, count if it goes, left it short. No chance, but he'll go to the line on the foul. 2 free throws with the clock stopped, Drew.
I mean, I feel like this is going to be a pretty free throw heavy game
Yeah.
as this one starts to wind down. But when you do get to the free throw line, you got to make your free throws. I mean, you can't, this is crunch time here.
Oregbu with the free throw, too strong. He's an 82% foul shooter. He's top 5 in the conference in percentage. But like we talked about yesterday and today, night and day for Solomon Oregbu. 30 points yesterday. Tonight, just 6. He's 2 for 12 from the field. Yesterday, he was lights out from anywhere across half court. Knocks in that second free throw, makes it a 7-point game. Full court press again drawn up.
That breaks the scoreless drought there for the Bulldogs.
Another lob. Cisse got it to go, and the foul. Drew Cisse got that one to go on the lob. There was Wabarocha with the assist, and Drew Cisse using all 6 feet 10 inches of that frame to finish over Olinka.
And it looks like the Tritons are rolling now, up 9. Yep. Could be more after this free throw attempt.
And that's the dangerous game you play with drawing up that full court press as Cisse connects on the free throw, completes the 3-point play. 10-point lead, the largest of the day for UMSL. The dangerous game you play with that full court press. You leave the 2-on-1 as Erickson off on a 3. Rebound taken. Cisse pulls it down, his 7th. Fuller the other way. Tritons in control. Cisse looking for the lob. Fuller won't throw it up. Vickers will dribble out at the Greyhound logo.
Seems like they're just trying to burn some time now.
Yep. 10 seconds on the clock. 3:26 on the game. Running out of time if you're Ferris State. Got to get a stop. That's not going to help. Isaiah Fuller says, hey, look, did it with my left hand, but he puts it in for points number 8 and 9 on the day. The other way, Oregbu finishes, and a quick timeout by Andy Bronkema. That'll be his second timeout of the half. He'll have one more remaining, but that'll send them into the break. Trailing by 10, cuts the lead back down with Oregbu. He needs more offense here if you're the Bulldogs closing out down the stretch here.
Yeah, and they really need to capitalize on every opportunity they get. I mean, when they go down, I mean, they got to make their shots. I mean, and same thing with the free throws. You can't be out here missing everything if you want to try and come back from a 10-point deficit.
You know, if you're Ferris State, trying to obviously chip away at this deficit, but it's still 10 points. You know, you have one timeout remaining, and as they try and chip away, you have to find a way to put together some stops here.
Yeah, and that's become a big thing for them. Ferris State needs to stop the scoring of UMSL, but they also, on the other end, they need to score.
Coming out of that timeout, they'll have one more remaining. 2 timeouts if you're Coach Sunvold and the Tritons, and up 10 points. Outlet pass, Cisse all alone, and the flush.
And that's what we just talked about there. You can't leave him open. You can't let these easy baskets for the Tritons.
Amari Lee on the other side got fouled. Stops the clock under 3 minutes to go. And the foul is going to go on Vickers. That's going to be his 3rd foul. Team's 6th. That was their foul to give. If you're UMSL, you have one more, or you know the next foul will send Bulldogs to the line in the bonus. Oregbu trying to draw a foul and does just that. Couldn't get the ball to go through the bucket, but he will go to the line. Chance to cut this 12-point lead down to 10. He'll have 2 free throws, Drew.
And like I said earlier, you got to capitalize on these. And I mean, there's still plenty of game left, and there's 2 minutes, just under 3 to go.
And if you're, you know, Coach Bronkema and the Bulldogs, as Oregbu knocks down the free throw, how much time do you let run off the clock before you start fouling? Obviously, still plenty of time, still just under 3 minutes. 10-point game now. Both free throws good by Oregbu, but how much time do you let run off the clock before you start fouling?
I mean, there's still a lot of time left on this. You got to see if you can get some turnovers or something.
This time, Hazelton will hang back in the lane and not allow the run-out cherry-picking dunk by Cisse. But the Tritons just going to run as much time off this clock as they possibly can. Out to Sandquist. Thought about the 3. Cisse on the drive. Got inside, off of his leg. Nice strip. Oregbu knocks it off of him. Turnover number 14 for UMSL. Bulldogs with a chance here.
That's what I'm talking about. You got to get those turnovers. You got to force those turnovers, not let them get those easy buckets.
And you talk about getting the stops, got to capitalize. Here's Amari Lee outside of Regbu, driving in on Vickers, stops, got fouled. He'll go to the line. They're in the bonus. The foul's going to go on Vickers. I believe if it is on Vickers, that'll be his fourth. It is. So 4 fouls now on Donovan Vickers.
So they have 2 players on the court right now playing with 4.
Yeah.
There's still over 2 minutes to go in the game. That's a lot of time.
8th team foul on UMSL. So still just the single bonus. This will be a 1-and-1. As the foul was on the ground, Oregbu will be at the stripe. Oregbu's 5 of 6 from the line today. 7th free throw, swishes the net. Oregbu up to 12 points now on the day. He's 3 of 13 from the field, hasn't got that rhythm, but he's been able to put in 6 free throws, 6 of 7 from there. He's also got 4 rebounds, an assist, a block, and 3 steals for Solomon Oregbu in 21 minutes. Makes it an 8-point game with those 2. And a sub, Cisse with 4 fouls, will check out onto the court, Janier Harris.
I mean, I think taking out Cisse here is a good play. I mean, you won't get a foul, and you're going to need him for those late blocking situations.
And they'll call a foul on Ferris State. Sandquist in the backcourt. They were trying to rip it away from him. It was Oregbu and Amari Lee, and they're going to call the foul on Lee. That's his 3rd foul. And more importantly, Sandquist is going to have 2 foul shots.
And that's not the person you want to foul in some of the line.
If there's anybody out there, it's probably Harris or Wabarocha, because it's not Fuller, it's not Sandquist who buries that first one, and Vickers, a good foul shooter as well.
If anybody, it's Wabarocha shooting 60% from the line.
Both free throws good for Sandquist. Back to a 10-point game, just above 2 minutes. Oregbu got to the cup. Can he finish? Left it short. Fuller, the defense. And the defensive prowess, Isaiah Fuller, all night long on Solomon Oregbu. And the Triton fans will let their team hear it. They'll dribble out some time. 7 on the shot clock. Vickers got inside, but he had it knocked away from him. 4 seconds on the shot clock. It will still be UMSL ball. See the strip there by Amari Lee. Quick hands. Vickers inbounds. Look out for Sandquist here, and they'll have to burn a timeout. Vickers not happy. Slams the ball down in frustration. But a 10-point lead and 1:34 to go here in semifinal number 1. 10-point lead for UMSL. The final minute and change when we come back. You're watching UINDY TV and the GLVC Sports Network.
Bryce Young, right?
What did you say?
No, it's Bryce Young. It's obviously Bryce Young.
C.J. Stroud, the obvious pick for Steichen and the Colts.
Ohio State quarterbacks, we know they don't.
I mean, come on. He's got the whole offense handed to him. Check out Last Call. We've got all the sports info you need from around the nation and right here on campus. Plenty of UINDY sports.
College football and college basketball.
The NFL.
The NBA.
MLB.
Don't forget about motorsports.
And I'll give you all the gambling picks you need to know to make some money right here on Last Call, Mondays at 4 o'clock on YouTube.
77-67, 1:34 to go. The score there. Vickers set to inbound. Tritons controlling with the lead, with the ball. Into Sandquist, 3 on the clock. Buries a 3, and Sandquist has a look back at the Triton bench. Largest lead of the day now for UMSL.
And they're cooking on all cylinders right now, especially if you get Sandquist hot from 3.
Still a 1:24 left as Amari Lee draws the foul. They went quickly down the court, and the Bulldogs realize they have to go quick here, running out of time. Just 84 seconds remaining in the game. Stick around with us. Game number 2 here on UINDY TV and the GLVC Sports Network. It'll be McKendree and Northern Michigan, a winner of the GLVC Conference, the Bearcats, and the winner of the GLIAC Conference, Northern Michigan. as Amari Lee knocks down the free throw. That game coming up. Tip-off set for 7:30 Eastern time. We'll have all the action right here on UINDY TV and the GLVC Sports Network. Lee in and out on the second. Still a 12-point game. Wabarocha into the front court. Guarded heavily, and now the Tritons can celebrate. 68 seconds remain. Inside, Harris, 12 on the clock. Wabarocha outside. Continuing to pile on. Wabarocha could not get it to fall. Under a minute to play. Bulldogs the other way. And Coach Bronkema is going to call a timeout, talk things over. The Triton faithful are loud here at Nickerson Hall. 12-point lead, 53 seconds to go. Stick around for the finale of this one here on UINDY TV and the GLVC Sports Network.
Award-winning news coverage. Brought to you by ethical journalists that care about you. We have you covered on crime, latest on sports, and the best in entertainment.
Final 49 seconds. Down low, we have Nathan Clairbout, but he got blocked out of bounds as both coaches emptying the benches. We have both Brandon and Nathan Clairbout out there, both redshirt freshmen from Michigan. Here is Nathan Clairbout backing down Wabarocha. Couldn't get the shot to go. This is going to end the Bulldogs season, but the Tritons, they're going to move on to the Midwest Regional Championship. They'll dribble out the clock here with 26 seconds left. Game and shot clock separated by 8. Still one more possession to be had for the Bulldogs, but 14 turnovers today for UMSL. Didn't matter. They still find themselves up by a dozen, Drew.
Yeah, and they played a really good second half ball game here. Kind of fell short in the first half, but now's a cherry on top right there.
And Harris with the dunk, exclamation point for the Tritons. Turnover, Wabarocha, 1 second on the clock. They'll hold for the end. A 14-point win victory for the UMSL Tritons. See the score there, 82-68. Tritons got it done. Ferris State season comes to a close. And the Tritons are moving on for a chance at the Elite Eight, Drew.
And they deserve it. I mean, they played great.
Oh, yeah.
Of late, I mean, they got really hot into that GLVC tournament, and they're playing great basketball right now at the start of this NCAA tournament, and they're one of those teams where you just got to watch out for them if you're up next.
Let's check in down on the sidelines with our reporter, Leticia Vaselli, to close things out.
Guys, what a game this was. What once used to be a tied game turned out to be kind of a huge difference, and I am sure the UMSL coach is super happy right now, but there's a lot of work still to be done since this is just the Midwest Regional, and we'll be hearing from him in just a little bit. But for now, reporting one last time, Leticia Vaselli, UINDY TV. Back to you guys.
All right, Leticia, thanks for that report. 14-point victory for the Tritons, and they can celebrate. They'll play Tuesday night right here at Nickerson Hall, 7:30 tip for, 7 o'clock tip for that Midwest Regional Final, Drew. And obviously we're going to have that Northern Michigan McKendree game coming up, but you know, neither of those teams want to face UMSL.
I was about to say, McKendree's probably that one team that's like, I don't know about this. I mean, they're playing great basketball. McKendree beat them in that GLVC championship game, but it's very hard to beat a team 3 times in a row. So UMSL will be coming out for blood.
Our director, Logan Wong, producers Rick Dunkel and Nathaniel Finch. For all of our crew here at UINDY TV, stick around in 35 minutes or so. Tip-off for 7:30. It'll be Northern Michigan and the McKendree Bearcats right here from Nickerson Hall. Leticia Vaselli to my left, Drew Renke. Graham Shearer saying so long. Have a great night, guys, from Nickerson Hall.